Namaste, viewers. I'm Vibhuti Jha, and this is Jaipur Dialogue USA. And before I start, I wanted to request you please like, subscribe, and support our channel. Give your feedback and support any which way possible. Now, today I wanted to talk to you about Rahul Gandhi's visit to United States, his address in Dallas, his agenda going forward, and what it means to all of us. Now, let's put it this way. I have on reliable sources from Indian Overseas Congress about his Dallas speech that was rated as flat speech. It didn't inspire people. The Indian Overseas Congress friend of mine who told me that sources close to that, I can say, they said that they were very unhappy with the way Rahul Gandhi's trip is managed by a few select people. And I want to give credit to Vivek Ramaswamy for creating the word that a managerial class is managing Biden administration and the Biden presidency. So that is what it seems like. Again, the problem is Rahul Gandhi is as managed as the Democrats are managed by certain given forces. Now let's take his speech. I listened to the whole speech. I would say I observed his speech because I wanted to learn from every element of the words said, between the lines, and the body language. So think about it from this point of view, and this is a primary objection and disappointment and a warning to all of us, particularly those of us who live in America. Let me take that speech one item at a time. And this is very relevant for all Indians living in America. He talked about injecting respect, humility, and love in Indian politics. Same man who calls Modi a thief, same man whose mother calls Modi a maut ka saudagar, his own party people who have insulted Modi time and again as panwala, chaiwala, and whatever. So much so that this man has been in America many times in the past, and there are video evidences for which I am not making up the story, in which he has asked American help to remove Modi from power and interfere in Indian democracy. Is the same party that has gone to Pakistan, Salman Khurshid and Manishankar Iyer. They have gone to Pakistan and asked Pakistan help to remove Modi and BJP and Hindus. By his own admission, think about it. It's very important to analyze the speech from that perspective, right? He did not talk about Bangladesh, the calamity that Hindus and minorities are facing in Bangladesh. Rape, burning of assets and temples. He didn't talk about that at all. At least I didn't hear it. If you heard it, let me know. Give me that particular clipping. This is what Rahul Gandhi is all about. Deception, deception, and lies. Let's talk about one thing. Why does he want to do the caste census? Why doesn't he say that he will do the caste census of Christians and Muslims as well? Why doesn't he say that those people who convert to Islam and Christianity will not be entitled to reservation facilities? This is important again. This is the man who has come to America and criticizes India openly and Indian leadership. Uski to baat hi jaane dijiye. Don't even talk about it. He hates Modi and he lets it be known. His entire vituperative is driven towards Modi because he lost to Modi in 3 general elections. 15 years of his life will be wasted eventually. The point is, he's raising the bogey. He talks about minorities in India all the time. Minority rights, minorities, minorities, minorities. Even in the speech in Dallas, he made a very veiled subtle references to minorities again. He tried to create the North South divide. But has he ever said anything about the atrocities on minorities in Pakistan, Bangladesh, or Afghanistan? Has he ever? Give me an example. Prove me wrong, and I'll be happy to say sorry and I will take my words back. He has never said anything about the atrocities committed on minorities in neighboring countries. But he would talk about minorities in India. This is the gameplay. Break India. Rahul Gandhi is the leader of the opposition, LOO, leader of the opposition, who banks upon this fact that he will never become prime minister of a unified India. He would rather break India to become Prince of Wayanad and become prime minister of Wayanad. That is his intent. He suffers from a serious psychological disorder, not visible to naked eye, that he ranks really low compared to his father, his grandmother, and great-grandfather. All said and done. And he's running a party that is totally truncated. So he's banking upon the vulnerabilities of Hindus to abuse Hindus. And that's his gameplay. Throughout the speech that he made there was no mention about Hindu temples, no mention of equality, but he was definitely talking about union of states. India is a union of states. It is in the constitution. Why does he have to emphasize that? And he wants to talk about the fact that, no state, language, religion superior to another. Who has ever said that? Whoever has ever said that any one state is better than another state? Each state has its own peculiarity. Each state has its own language. His great-grandfather took the decision to make India, divided on language basis. It was not you and I. It was his grandfather who did that. Was it meant to be used as a divisive force today? He talked about Kerala. He talked about Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu. He didn't talk about other languages. Did you see the subtle messaging that he was making about South and North? This man is a divisive element in Indian politics. This is the only man in the world I have known who goes to a foreign country and openly criticizes their leadership and the country. Have you ever come across an American politician of opposition coming to India and giving negative statements about his own country? Never. They always go there to study the systems prevailing in those countries. Here he comes asking for interference. He speaks wrong things about India. He speaks wrong things about Modi, false statements, and then tries to cover it up under the freedom of speech banner. So minority killings in Bangladesh doesn't matter to Rahul Gandhi. But minorities having a problem, created problem, he wants to highlight that all over the world. Now, this is very important again. He talked about specifically that NRIs in Dallas. He said that you are kind of ambassadors of India from the other side. He talks about that values and everything else. I have been in this country since 1991. I had the opportunity to interact with first generation Indians here who were then working very hard to make a living and a life. And they were doing well, but they were not prosperous as today. But imagine in 1990, the condition was different. Kids were smaller, they were working hard all the time. But all of them, invariably all of them, whenever they came with $6 and $8 in their pocket. They came 10,000 miles away. You know why? Because they were totally disappointed with the policies of this man's party of that time. This man's party. I was a banker in India. I came in 1991 to promote NRI banking and collect money from Indians to invest in India and the business part of it. I I've crisscrossed this country from one end to another, from Seattle to Miami and to Rochester to San Diego and in between. I have met with NRIs, and many of them know me, and I know many of them. They were all unhappy with India. Nobody trusted in India. I can give you instances in which people have told me it's better not to keep the money under the pillow and lose it than to invest in India. There was absolute disappointment with India, the way it was run. And this man has the gall to talk about the values. I have known instances where people suffered because of $6 and $8 in their pocket. Serious suffering. But they overcame that. The other part, which is very important, he talked about, what you call, he talked about a very important thing. He says about language part he played. I think Telugu, Hindi, Malayalam, and Tamil. I'm repeating that part because it's very important to grasp that. I came to know that Mr. Revati, the chief minister of Andhra, was there. And he was the one who brought the crowd. I was told that the crowd was leaving midway because they were so tired of the uninspiring speech. They were leaving. If you saw the hall, it was not a big hall. It was such a cooked up affair that they had problem in holding on to the people in the audience. He talked about politics of love. He introduced the politics of love. Think about that. I'm repeating these things because it's very important for you to get it. If not the first time, the second time as well. The other thing, you see, it will be very across the board. It is the same script that Democratic Party has and Rahul Gandhi has. Attacking Modi, that he will destroy the constitution. Whereas Modi was the man who talked about the constitution is the book by which the country is being run. Give me an instance where constitution has been broken by Modi or BJP or NDA. Give me one instance where the constitution has been violated. On the contrary, it is his party which has made provisions in the constitution over a period in time that has denied you and I, Hindus, many rights that are available. He granted rights of Waqf board. Today, Waqf board is claiming that Mukesh Ambani's land is on which the Antia building is standing also belongs to Waqf board. The whole village in Bihar has been claimed by the Waqf board. Think about it. The damage his party has single-handedly done to you and I. And then he berates Hindus. Think about it. The other part which I want to say is, he talked about very interesting observation made by Professor Babonis in his tweet. He said that, Rahul Gandhi said that hand is a symbol of resistance, no fear. Nobody fears Modi anymore. The question is, the thought never occurred to my mind. Is Modi trying to frighten people? Is Modi trying to frighten people that he's working towards making India a great economy? What is frightening about it? India needs economic, political, and social changes. And I have said this before, and I'll say it today. In this process, there is always a sacrifice involved of some group of people or the other. But this group of people, the Congress party and their henchmen, they are targeting those group of people to foment trouble in the country. And that's what is terrible. Don't forget, this was a man who came and asked a former ambassador to interfere in Indian democracy and remove Modi. This was the man whose party member went to Pakistan and demanded and asked for Pakistan's help in dismantling Modi and BJP and NDA. These are not my statements. These are all on record. Most likely you have heard about it. So today you are probably hearing it repeated again and again, is to bring it to your attention that kindly and please pay attention to this man. He is being managed by certain groups of people, the only goal being to dismantle Modi, dismantle NDA, and dismantle you and I. We cannot allow that to happen. There's other parties. The last thing that I wanted to say here, that Texas is a booming state. Don't forget, many people who are in Texas are migrating from California. And it is important for all of us to know that Rahul Gandhi does not represent the NRIs. There is a small group of people called Indian Overseas Congress. And those people are also very unhappy because they have been sidelined, the original people, and a few of them are managing his visit, his speeches, and his conversations. I believe in the next few hours today, I'm recording this on 9th of September. Today they are going to likely meet the Black Caucus and also Amrita Singh, who is a daughter of Manmohan Singh, who works for, Amrita Singh works for George Soros's Open Society. You see the link? They are planning and plotting how to defend their record in Karnataka and Himachal Pradesh, where both the states have gone bankrupt. You have DK Shivkumar, the infamous DK Shivkumar, in the US, invited by Barack Obama and Kamala Harris to meet with them. It's very dangerous. DK Shivkumar, you know the name. Think about it. How deep is the rot that they are all here to collaborate with anti-India forces to defeat them? But as you heard me on another show I was doing with Sanjay Ji on Jaipur Dialogue Jaipur Dialogue, the Prime Minister has cancelled his UN speech. He is coming to meet with major investment groups. And you know the reason why. Because Prime Minister wants India to become economically strong. Because unless and until you are economically strong and a giant in your own right, people won't listen to you. It's only when you are economically right that you can do things that are otherwise not possible. Finally, the last thought. This is very important. The Prime Minister has talked about one very important thing, and that is investments coming to India. And investments are going to India because of geopolitical factors. And one of the biggest geopolitical factors is China is running into rough weather. People are realizing that India is the place, China is no longer the place. Now what Rahul is doing, that he's spreading lies and he's telling foreign investors not to come to India. So he is indulging, in my opinion, may not fit the legal definition of treason, but it's almost treasonous that we, instead of encouraging investments in India for the benefit of India, all you are doing is trying to discourage investments coming from India to India. Which means what? If India remains economically weak, who gains? China. And who has a treaty or a memorandum of understanding with the Chinese Communist Party? It's the Congress Party. Do you see something happening here? The rate at which the Chinese have influenced and infiltrated the Congress Party is absolutely dangerous. So watch out for his trip. He's meeting all the dangerous people who are anti-India people, and he's trying to push his agenda. Even those who are meeting may not have much to do with India. The Black Caucus may not have anything to do with India. They just want to hear about the minority rights, perhaps. But he is playing games. Watch out. Thank you very much for watching. As I always say, Satyameva Jayate, for truth to triumph, you got to fight for it and stand up for it. Thank you.